Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Wellness Through Reading. I am your host, Tanisha. Wellness Through Reading is a podcast dedicated to anyone who desires to keep reading a daily habit as a form of self-care. I post episodes every Wednesday, and these podcast episodes contain book reviews of the books that I'm currently reading or have read that I think you should add to your TBR list. Also, great health benefits of reading, so that way I encourage you to keep the reading habit going. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. That way you stay updated when new podcast episodes are uploaded. They're uploaded on Wednesdays. So let's dive into today's episode. Greetings and salutations, and welcome to another episode of Wellness Through Reading. I am your host, Tanisha. This podcast is dedicated to keeping reading a daily habit as a form of self-care. On this podcast, I talk about all things books, genres, research articles, and all the health benefits of reading daily, also books that I'm currently reading, and so much more. So, today's episode is all about love and books, the rise of romance, exploring love through the pages. Let's dive right on in, shall we? So I definitely have noticed just in my own reading how much more romance I have been reading lately. Normally I'm an adventure, horror, thriller type of girl, but romance novels are basically novels that love obviously is the central theme. And obviously over the past weeks, it's some of the top selling like fiction books have been romances really. So let's start talking about the origins of romance in literature. And let's see. So the earliest form of romance in literature comes down to Song of Roland or Tristan and Isolde. And really it kind of goes back to the medieval tales of chivalry, courtly love, shaped by early perception of what romantic love can really be like. That type of romantic, the guy asking the father for the girl's hand in marriage, all that fun jazz. And it's kind of making it, especially with like the Bridgerton series and everything, it's making its resurgence back into mainstream culture. And so when we go from there to the evolution of romance to the 19th century, the growing popularity of romance novels in the Victorian era, we get, the Charlotte Brontë, Emily Brontë works of Wuthering Heights, Jane Eyre. And so the rise really of women's novels as a genre focused on emotional journeys domestically and romantic love. So then the birth of the modern romance. So the shift toward more modern romance with the 20th century of Harlequin romance novels, the very steamy books that you see at the checkout counters at the grocery stores. It really become more mass popular. And really, in turn, has become a global phenomenon. So the intersection of romance and feminism. I definitely feel like that's kind of where romance has been going. The rise of female empowerment in the romance novels, especially for late 20th century onward. Contemporary romance novels often reflect themes of independence, equality, and sexual liberation. I've definitely noticed that too, especially with this last book that I read, Onyx Storm. If you've been following me on TikTok under Literary Lover, also on Instagram as well too, I've just finished reading it. I took my time reading Onyx Storm because I really want to just I think with Iron Flame, I read it too fast, and that's why I didn't enjoy it. But with Onyx Storm, I took my time. I got off social media and just read it little by little each day until I got to the end. And really, though, while it is a fantasy, it's more romance than fantasy, really. For those of you who are new to the fantasy genre, it's a great way for romance readers to get into fantasy. I mean, it does do a lot of the world building, which is very new in fantasy as well, but it does cater more on relationships, not only on the male-female relationship of Violet and Xaden, but also on bisexual relationships, gay relationships, lesbian. It's very sexually fluid, if you hear me. So you definitely see a lot of that. Violet Sorrengail being like the main character in that arc, and she being obviously woman empowerment. She has a disability, so you have disablement as well too. So there's a lot there as far as contemporary romance goes. And really the landscape of romance novel has really evolved so much. It's really, you can go from romantic comedies all the way up to dark romance with like the Cat and Mouse series, and also romantic thrillers as well too. We have a huge influence of digital platforms like Wattpad, self-publishing, and online book community as well too. So you don't even need to go to these big publishing book houses anymore. You can just self-publish online. And I think one of the key things I really like about that is that the diverse representation of romance as well too. Like I said, LGBTQ romance, multicultural romance, body positivity. So it does help with, does make sure that everyone is included. Love is love. That's how I feel. And also a modern bestseller, Colleen Hoover. Now, I know a lot of people listening to this are huge Colleen Hoover fans. Can I just say, I am not one of those people. It Ends With Us was not my favorite. I don't like how she kind of romanticized domestic violence. I understand that she was just trying to understand, because she also talked about it. I actually read an interview that she said, talking about how to explain how her own mother was abused by her partner, and how it took her a long time to understand why she stayed for so long. And so through these books, she was able to heal from that. But I definitely felt like there should have been a big disclaimer, not only in the books, but also in the movie as well, too. I didn't go see it, and I know all the drama with everything that happened. The irony of it all is a book about domestic violence and everything that's happening with the two main actors. So, But I will say the book talk movement has helped to progress the romance genre so much so. Now, just as I said, the last book I mentioned was Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. It was a #1 best-selling book by a female author for the past decade. I think I saw on the New York Times. Actually, yeah, according to the New York Times, Rebecca Yarros' Onyx Storm is the fastest selling adult novel in 20 years. And I must say, I had already pre-ordered the Kindle, the book with the sprayed edges, and the audiobook as well too. So I've been doing all three. Honestly, I'm on my second reread of it right now. And I gotta say, it was just fun. It was entertaining. It was very modern in its speaking and whatnot, but obviously it definitely kind of goes back to that medieval courtly type of love. And obviously dragons. I mean, hello. Dragons, more dragons. More on that later. But I will say though, what this world needs now really is just a lot more love. And I gotta say, with all the politicking and everything that's been going on, a great way to just defuse from all of that is to really just dive in and just take some time out and just read about happiness and joy and whatnot. And honestly, though, I will find that I am less stressed out when I'm reading about love than I'm reading about all the other genres as well, too, because it's just more fun. Also, the spicy scenes are a lot spicier as well, too, so there's a little bit of that. So that was my main topic for the day, romance and novels. I also want to go into a little bit about my February 2025 intentions. So my intentions this month is to journal daily, save roughly $500 to my emergency fund. I'm trying to get back into exercising as well too. I got this Pilates bar that I've been using. Drink water at least 64 ounces daily, and read at least 4 new books. So far I've been doing pretty good on my reading goals. I got so far 13 out of 50 books read. So I'm doing alright. I'm getting ahead. I had a really great month last month. That's what it is. I really wanted to get ahead this time because last year, I did not do well on my reading goals. So I'm doing better this year. Tell me what about you? What are your intentions for this month? What are your reading goals for this month? Let me know in the comment section below. So another part of this podcast that I really want to do, I really want to encourage my readers to also get a journal and start journaling as well too. Not just journaling for reading, but also for your own personal benefit as well too. Here on the Wellness Through Reading podcast, I like to talk about not all things reading, but wellness as well too. And journaling is definitely a big part of that can help with wellness. Journaling is more reflective and it can be personal. It's a space to express thoughts, emotion, and experiences. Some of its key benefits include emotional clarity. It can help process feelings, reduce stress, and gain insight on emotional states. It can also do self-discovery. It fosters personal growth by allowing you to explore thoughts and behaviors leading to greater self-awareness. Creativity. Writing freely in a journal can boost creativity and problem-solving skills. And also, one of my favorites, mindfulness. It encourages being present and helps track personal growth over life events over time. So now that we've reached the end of this podcast, I've decided that to help really grow the podcast, I'm going to do 2 podcasts per week. I'm going to do one on Sundays where I'm going to just talk more about wellness, and then one during the middle of the week where I'm going to do a full book review. So this week, drum roll, we're going to do part 1 of the Onyx Storm podcast. I'm going to talk about things that I read, theories that I have coming up, and so if you are interested and want to hear more, please hit that subscribe button, share with family and friends. Also, you can follow me on TikTok while we have it at Literary Lover, and also on Instagram at Wellness Through Reading. I'm also up on YouTube as well too. Podcast episodes will be uploaded twice a week, one on Sundays, one on Wednesdays. And with that, I thank you so much for listening. I hope you all have a great Super Bowl Sunday, and I'll see you again on Wednesday. Bye. I thank you so much again for tuning in to today's episode. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button so that way you're updated when new podcast episodes are uploaded every Wednesday. Also, leave a review, share with family and friends. And also, I'll up on social media. We have a TikTok account. It's called Literary Lover. Literary Love, L-U-V. Wellness Through Reading apparently was too long of a title. And also on Instagram as Wellness Through Reading. Hit the subscribe button as well so that way you stay updated day to day on things that are going on with the channel. And I thank you again so much for staying into the end of this podcast episode. And I will see you next week. I wish you all, as always, good wellness and good reading. Bye!